This becomes a little more, now you can start seeing those columnar cells. Whoa. Let's get out here. There we go. All right, so what you're looking at now is you're looking at inside the stomach. These are the rugae. And you have gastric pits in the stomach. And you'll see those are simple columnar. And all those dark structures, okay, these right here, these are actually what they refer to as the nuclei. And those white areas, all through here, these are the significant goblet cells that are secreting mucus to cover the stomach lining. Similar to what we've seen before. But this is in the cardiac area. Now, as we move across, let's back off just a little. Oops, went the wrong direction. These are a little different. This is actually down into the pyloric region. So again, you can see the stomach with the rugae. Let me kind of pick it up one more time.
How do we identify a gastric pit?
I'll show you. They're actually pretty easy. Depending on how much he has it magnified, trying to find a good. So if you're looking at something this, the gastric pits are always down here, like here, here, here. They literally are a pit, right down at the very bottom. And this is where you'd find your parietal cells and your chief cells that are going to secrete hydrochloric acid and pepsin and so on and so forth. All the ones at the base of those open areas are called the gastric pits.
What about the gastric glands?
Gastric glands are going to be right below it. Let's see if we can see them. Okay, so when you're looking here, here's going to be a gastric pit. You still have simple columnar coming all the way around. Your the gastric glands are going to be down here to secrete whatever they're going to be, whether they're parietal or chief cells. And they kind of line up along the sides. They've never really asked to pick out a chief cell and or a parietal cell because it's virtually impossible to see the difference. But they could ask you what's at the bottom. They could be pointing right here and say, what do, ID item, you'd say gastric pit. Okay? Now let's back off and get a far away view here. They can sometimes also ask about the different muscular layers. So you have 1, 2, and the inner one 3. Oblique, circular, and longitudinal. Let's see if we get a better view over here. No, not really. That's about as best you're going to get it. This is kind of a smaller representation. You have the oblique, here's the longitudinal, and the circular is right in the middle. You kind of see the difference in the patterns as you look at them. There's some difference, you can be able to pick it up. But it depends on what they're looking for. If they want you to identify a pit or what kind of tissue it is, they're probably going to pop it up to something more like this, where you can actually see the simple columnar, you can see the actual rugae of the folds. Like here's the gastric gland, gastric gland, gastric gland. Can you see those? Those are the gastric glands that actually secrete up in there. All right. Ooh, let's see here. Now let's go into the duodenum. And the duodenum is kind of easy because the small intestine, what are you going to notice about the small intestine? Like if I just showed you this before I actually blow it up. What's different between this and let's say the stomach? Remember I said inside the duodenum or inside the small intestine you have the plicae circularis? The plicae circularis are those elongated structures that you saw in that model. So these are much longer. If you're looking at pits, gastric pits, they're thinner, they're much taller, they're much longer. There's more surface area for the food actually to brush up against and digest from. But if they blow it up a little bit, and they bring you out to a surface, let's go this way. All right, now, here, you can see all along here, you can have the nuclei, and this is actually pretty hard to see. You can see some of the actual goblet cells are pretty hard to see from back there. They're right over here. But this is a plique circularis, and you're looking at the apex of it. And what's really interesting is what runs up in the middle here, which you can't see in this tissue slide, is the lacteal from the lymphatic tissue. But you're going to know that this is going to be intestine as compared to stomach because of the length and the size of it. It's much narrower, much longer, and so the surface area is much greater. Let me move over to jejunum and see if you can pick up anything here. That's a muscle layer. By the way, what is that? What kind of tissue? That's smooth muscle. Remember that there is no skeletal muscle in the digestive tract. It's all smooth muscle.
Right.
All right, now we've moved into something referred to as the jejunum. Same type of setup, except for now they're not as thin. They're a little wider, a little thicker. And once we actually get down into the ileum, hopefully we'll see Peyer's patches, because they always like to show Peyer's patches. But you'll see how in the ileum, in the duodenum, they kind of came up to a slight apex and then went back down, much thinner than this. When you see them come up and they're blunted, they're kind of blunted on the top instead of being apexed, these are going to be in the jejunum. And the last one is, I'm going to back off so you can actually get a better view of this. There we go. This is the ileum. And you get an idea of the layers of muscles. You can see them very well. Two different layers there. You've got longitudinal and circular. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Where are they? Is it time?
No.
What time does it say?
Oh, no, we're not.
Does that say 6:35? Or 6:25?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay.
25.
Let me see if I can find something that shows you.
Kind of cool looking.
Cool looking, yeah.
Yeah. Now in the ileum, all along here, it doesn't stain really well, but all these little structures here are basically referred to as the Peyer's patches. We have one that actually shows in purple larger Peyer's patches in the submucosa area. But you see the difference again. Little islands through here, very similar, simple columnar, the same type of thing. Bless you.
Bless you.
All right, one more. Let's look at the colon real quick and then we'll take a break. Actually, you'll take a break.
Давай. Только ты будешь говорить.
Now, you're going to find that in the colon, what's missing?
What?
They don't have. Can you say it louder so the entire class can?
He asked what's missing, and I said a finger.
That's when you just want to like.
Okay. That's an image I don't necessarily want. But what's missing here, beside the finger, is that there are no fords, there are no deep crevices. The colon doesn't have a lot of deep crevices. It does not need a lot of surface area at this time because it's really there just to make sure that the fecal material is reabsorbed as much water as possible and the rest is excreted. If we actually take a close-up, you'll begin to see the simple columnar on the top again. Not a great slide, but there. So you'll see that this is the connective tissue with the columnar on top, all simple columnar across, no cilia, nothing at all. But you can see huge goblet cells. These are the goblet cells, like that. They'll continually secrete the mucus. You hope at least. All right, let me just take a look and see. Okay, no, that's about it. All right. Okay.
Thank you.